I live in an illogical world where somehow, some way, even if you do absolutely nothing or you had good intentions and you were just being kind to a person, you can be blamed for what that person does to you. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I've heard about women in third world countries, and like Muslim countries where the woman gets raped and somehow she gets blamed for it. It doesn't make any sense. Till it happens to you. I mean, it still doesn't really make sense, but you kind of think that that kind of thing doesn't happen until you go through it. You know? The thing is, there are only two sexes. And there are some things men will never understand, just as there are things women will never understand. I'm never going to pretend that I know what it's like to be kicked in the balls because I've never had balls. All I can tell you is that it looks painful. Men try to act tough all the time, so if you do something that makes them fall to the ground or start crying in pain, I assume it hurts an awful lot. But I can't tell you like, oh, it's a radiating pain, or oh, it's a pulsating pain, or oh, it's like this. Like, I don't know what it's like. Just like men shouldn't act like they know what a period is like because they are never going to know. Just like a man doesn't know what it's like to deal with a third sex that's above him. The best that they can do is maybe remember what it was like being a small child and how scary it was having a grown man towering over you who's so much bigger and stronger and a big, deep, powerful voice. How intimidating that was as a child. Maybe then they can get a bit of an understanding what it's like for a woman dealing with a man. But still, they're never going to deal with a third sex that has more muscle mass, an even deeper, bigger voice, and is typically taller than they are. They're never going to deal with that. They're at the top of the food chain. Do you expect a great white shark to understand what a guppy is going through? Probably not, right? So it's no wonder that when a woman tells another woman about what she's gone through when it has to do with like sexual harassment or assault or whatever, women tend to understand and they don't blame each other, typically. But you tell a man, 9 times out of 10, they'll blame you. Well, what were you wearing? Were you wearing perfume? Were you wearing a mini skirt? Did you have a push-up bra on? Did you forget to put a bra on? Was your hair done? You had lipstick on, though. Oh, you gave the guy your number. Oh, you went on a date with him, though. Oh, you let him pick you up at your place. I mean, it's always something, right? And I agree, there are certain things we should do to protect ourselves and to be on the safe side. But when someone does something to us that we did not consent to, we're not the one you should be complaining to. We're not the one that you should be blaming, okay? When something actually happens, you don't blame that person, right? If someone goes on a 6 o'clock run around their block before work every day and somebody happens to pull a gun on them or whatever might happen, maybe they got mugged or attacked, you don't say, oh, well, you shouldn't have been going on a jog at 6 in the morning. That's too early. It's all your fault. Like, no. You should say, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's awful. Maybe buy them some pepper spray or something. Because at the end of the day, you can do everything in your power to protect yourself. There are a lot of women a lot of women and men, but we'll just focus on women. There are a lot of women who have been abused. And because of that, they chose to put on a lot of weight. They chose to not brush their hair, partly because they're depressed and really messed up in the head after being violated, but also as a protective mechanism. They want to be as unattractive as they can be so that guys will leave them alone. And so they'll wear like really baggy clothes or ugly clothes, or they'll go days without bathing, stuff like that. And they'll carry pepper spray, and they'll try to be really careful and hardly ever leave the house. But then if something still ends up happening to them, even though they do all that stuff, it's still their fault, isn't it? That's the world I'm living in. That is the world that I'm living in. And you're supposed to, as a woman, go through all kinds of trials, tribulations, trauma, what have you. And you're supposed to just smile and act like nothing has affected you. It's really funny how, you got all these men complaining that women are so mean. You can't ask a woman out these days because she won't give you the time of day, and women are so rude, right? And a woman won't give you her address anymore. She won't give you her phone number. She acts like you're out to get her. All women are so paranoid. They're so crazy, right? Why are women so mean? But then when a woman is nice to a guy and she does give him the time of day, she smiles at him. Oh, well, now it's her fault if he ends up, sticking his hand up her dress or something. Give me a break. That's the world I'm living in, man. It's crazy. And it's always the same culprit at the root. It's the devil. He works through you to make you feel like you're being mean if you're not, smiling at somebody or doing what they want. And then the spirit of fear makes you feel like you're intimidated, so you got to do what a man tells you to do. And then the devil's working in the guy, making him feel attracted to you and obsessed with you and all creepy. And then the devil's working around the people around you to blame you and somehow find fault in something you're doing. Well, you looked at him funny. Don't you know that that's going to make a guy rape you? It's all your fault, So, yeah. So, anyway, I found a cool video that I thought I would share with you guys. That is a cartoon by an artist that I was sent by a friend of mine. And, I may not agree with it 100,000%, but I thought it was really cool. I thought it was pretty powerful and well done. And I just love this lady's work. I'll leave the link in the description or something. So yeah, I love you guys. Sorry I haven't posted very much in a while. Well, it hasn't been a while, but I had worked all year long, basically, pretty much all year on that Tim Burton documentary, so I needed to take a break anyway, and then I dealt with some trauma and all kinds of crap that just took the wind out of my sails. And, yeah. But I still, I'm still working on that documentary with Lee Lewis. I just haven't talked to Lee Lewis in a while. I assume he's probably going through hell. I hope he's not, but usually when he's doing well, he's very talkative, and I haven't heard from him in a while, so I hope he's okay. But yeah. I'll have some things coming out when I can. I have a lot going on. So anyway, I felt like making this video for the last 2-3-ish weeks or something, and I thought I might as well just make it because it's been on my mind, even though I don't really have the time to make it. I'll just do it anyways. So yeah, I love you guys. Please pray for me. Pray that God will heal my mind and keep intrusive and tormenting thoughts away, and just clear my mind. Let me be peaceful. I have my moments, of course. God gives me my waves of peace, but still, I've just been going through battles, But I appreciate everyone who's been kind to me, everyone who hasn't put pressure on me, everyone who's prayed for me and been understanding. But anyway, here is this very interesting cartoon.
At King Arthur's court, there was a strong, lusty knight bachelor. And one day he was riding down by the river. He was all alone, and he saw this virgin lass. Of course, there was an absolute outcry. Arthur gave him over to Guinevere. She should choose whether to save his blood or spill it.
I'll spare you if you can tell us
What do women most desire? Come on, knight, speak up.
An answer to that will keep your neck bones safe from this hard iron.
I don't know.
I suppose if you can't tell us now, we'll let you have 12 months and a day. Go!
He went to every door and every town where he could hope to unearth the answer. But everyone had a different idea.
Could you tell me, what does a woman most desire?
Her place in society.
My good man, what do women most desire?
Money.
Fancy clothes! Very good seeing to.
The day had come that he must turn homeward. His spirit was broken, his hopes bitter ashes. His route took him to a forest, and there he saw 24 dancing ladies.
Maybe they'll have the answer. Maybe.
No way through here, sir. Tell us what you're looking for.
Mother, what do women most desire? If you can tell me, I'd make it worth your while.
Give me your oath. You'll do the very next thing I ask of you, and before sunset, you'll have your answer.
My oath, you have it. Anything.
Your life is safe. Listen.
Silence!
Well?
My lady queen. Apparently, women desire sovereignty over husband and lover. They desire the upper hand at all times. Now do with me as you will.
None of them, not wife, nor virgin, nor widow, could argue with that. He had his life.
Sovereign Lady Queen? I gave him that answer. In return, he swore he'd do the first thing I asked. Take me as your wife.
Take all my worldly goods if you must. Let my body alone.
I want to be your wife and your love.
My love. My damnation. Sovereign. Should someone of my rank be brought so low?
He had no choice but to marry her, to take the old woman into his bed. And as for all the rejoicing and all the arrangements for the wedding feast, there wasn't any. No joy, no feast. He became her husband in a private ceremony and spent the day hidden like an owl.
Darling husband, are all Arthur's knights so hard to please? I saved your life. What have I done wrong?
Oh,
Tell me. I'll change.
change. Wonderful change. You're so hideous, so old, and so common.
I could change all that if only you behaved a little more courteously to
Are
me.
you surprised at me?
Oh, you're talking ability. Arrogance. The man who attempts the noblest deeds. He's the noblest
You'll
man.
always be old, always ugly.
Then you need never fear a rival. You have a choice. Plain and old, but your faithful, obedient wife. Oh, young and beautiful, and danger whenever friends visit our house. Whatever you prefer.
Oh, I put myself in your hands. Whatever you want, my wife pleases me.
Do I have the upper hand then? Do I make all the choices? All decisions?
That is best.
Kiss me. No more arguments. I will be beautiful and true. Look at me.
Kiss. May Christ send us all husbands as meek and young and hard, and the grace to break them.